What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and I just got out of seeing Dune. I was able to get my hands on some early screening tickets, and oh my goodness, you are not ready. When you see this in theaters, this shit is gonna blow your mind. It literally, I'm still thinking about it, so I apologize if I'm all over the place. Like I said, I'm fresh out. You see where I'm at, and I just had to get my thoughts off, and I wanted to be as clear as possible, of course. But there's so much to unpack in this movie. The the action, the visuals are, I don't even know how Dennis even pulled this off. Like, I really have no idea how he was able to make space look so tangible. I mean, the production design is ridiculous. Like, the costumes, the sets, the VFX, for the ships. Like, there's just so many small details in this movie that make up the big picture that it's honestly like breathtaking. I mean, from like the ships, right? The wings move like hummingbirds. That shit is so. I've never seen nothing like that. Like I said, the production design, the costumes are incredible. The armor, just the sets, the clothes that people are wearing who aren't even in battle. Like, it's honestly a sight to see. Like, this is top tier. And for it to be a space movie and have this tone, I love it. It's like a family drama slash, not medieval, but what is it like in the 1600s where it's like royalty and going to war with other countries, and like it's that but in space, and they handle it the same way. Like, you see the hierarchy in how people speak to Oscar Isaac's character, and Paul, his son, and it's just a whole lot of it's a lush world that you step into, and you're given information as the movie goes on, because Paul, him being up next to rule the throne, there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't know, so he's getting the explanation from people around him. So anytime it's exposition, doesn't really feel like it's dumped. It feels necessary because he has to know, being the next in line. And talking about Paul, every performance in this movie, the landing is stuck. There's not one person in this film who did a bad job. Like, everybody killed it. Paul, you can see every emotion on his face. Every time he hurt, every time he cried, every time he dreamed, you can see everything. Rebecca Ferguson being the loving mom, not really trusting people, and also wanting to protect her son, incredible. Oscar Isaac's character being the dad. I'm sorry if I'm missing the names. Some names I know a lot like that, and other ones I'm just like spitballing. But loved his character. I loved that he was actually he was a good ruler. Like, I can see why everybody liked him. Even the small dose of him talking to his son, like, even if you're not ready to do this, it's okay. I'm not forcing you like my dad did, and you actually feel that. Like, Oscar feels like a real person. Like, he feels like one of the realest people in the movie, and I really love that they depicted him like that. Jason's character is awesome, man. Like, he brings a lot of fun to the movie, and especially with the overall tone, it's very serious, it's very dramatic, and I love that. And Jason was that little bit of spice adding to it to make it a lot more fun, just with him being on screen. And again, he stole the show when he was on there. Like his character was is like the respected soldier of the squad, and you really see that because there's a moment when he goes against the opposition, and they're even kind of like, whoa, that's him, that's this guy. And you just see the hierarchy in the film, and the visuals. I don't even know if I need to talk about that. If you've seen the trailer, that ain't shit compared to what the movie is. I mean, there's so many images that you could just hang up on a wall. It looks like a painting. Like in the opening, like 5 minutes, there's a shot of 3 people in like black suits with scarves flapping in the desert, and the way that they're framed is just, and that's all throughout the movie. It ain't even just one frame. It's crazy. Like, if you thought Blade Runner 2049 was something as far as like the visuals, you were in for some shit here, because the visuals are just to die for. Like, I was literally just watching this, just like drooling. The way it's framed, the color palette, the camera movement, even when it's a still image, just gorgeous, man. Like, it's just the small details, like the small things in this movie. You can tell Dennis literally planned everything out, and it pays off. This is literally one of the best movies of the year. I personally, it's like the best sci-fi movie I've ever seen, honestly. Like, this makes other stuff look like kid movies compared to how they designed and did this movie. In the action, yo, let me tell you something. I think maybe one person hand to hand used a gun, The only other people using guns are like airships that fly around, but everybody else is using swords. Space ninjas, my nigga. Space samurais. That's crazy. Like, and then just the details they go with that. Like, you've seen in the teaser, like there's like these soldiers kind of drop out of the sky in slow motion. And see, in the trailer, I thought that it was just a slow motion shot, but it's just the way that they're coming down is slowed down, so everything else is moving regular. And man, I'm telling you, it's nuts. All the futuristic items. I'm like, is this shit real? The use of armor and the coloring of the armor is dope because I didn't quite understand it in the trailer, but seeing it here in its full potential, crazy. Talking about characters, the villain had that voice down pat every time he came on screen. The whole mood changed. You knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, ridiculous. And I would even go as far as to say the worms are kind of a villain. Not really, but when they come around, it's definitely dread. They set that up early. Like, those are the sandworms. You want to stay away from them. And you think you know the scale of what's going on until they pop up and you're like, oh shit, whoa. Like, it takes it there. And from that moment, first moment you're met with the worms, you already know you gotta fear them. Like, they don't play. And the scale of this movie is incredible. So many times Dennis just pulls the camera back to show you how small the people are and how big the world is around it and whatever item is on screen. And it's just mind-blowing how he did this because everything looks so real. Like, the VFX team, kudos to y'all. Like, oh my god, like, it's incredible. The sound design too is so immersive. Like, as you're watching a movie, the music and the sound effects really give you, throw you into the movie and you're there. You don't care about shit else watching this movie. Hans Zimmer killed it. And this is a movie that when you watch it, it's one of those that you can't even look away or you're gonna miss something. Like, I've seen this movie and I pretty much got it, but there's still some more things that I want to unpack because it's just so much thrown at you in the screen, man. Like, it is a space epic. It is a journey. It is a ride. Yo, I don't even know what else to say. This shit was just like mind-blowing, and seeing it in the theater, like, oh boy, this movie is one of those things like an experience. Like how I said Zack Snyder's JL is an experience. This is an experience. 2.5 hours is just, you're fully immersed in the world that's happening. You see, Lord have mercy. Like, this movie is mind blowing. I don't know. My movie probably might not be for everybody, I will say, because if you're going in expecting like some big action-packed space fest where shit just blows up and shit gets shot, it's not that. I would say go into it thinking, I can't really compare it to anything, but don't go in there expecting it to be like just like I said, some shoot up, war fest, because it's a lot more. It's a lot of story, it's a lot of dialogue, it's a lot of world building. Action is there, but when you get the action, heart is pumping, and the way it's framed, the way they shoot it, everything is just there the way it needs to be. And we got to get Dune Part 2. So go see this movie and watch it on HBO Max, because if we don't get Dune Part 2, it's going to be another release of Snyder Cut. It's going to be release the Dune Part 2, because the way this movie ended, we got to see the story end. Like, there's no way possible. No way possible. I don't have any gripes about this film. None that I can think of. Can you nitpick it? Sure, but I don't have any gripes. Like, the only nitpick I do have is some of the action sequences I feel like get cut off, quicker than they should, but I feel like it was for time's sake, and I'm pretty sure Dennis is more concerned about the story than he is the action. But you get enough to be satisfied. I was fucking satisfied. Like, I ain't seen nothing like this, man. So, Dune, go see it. Please go see it. Comment, let me know your favorite moments, and until next time, peace.